Your Daily 180, 180 seconds of pure Bible study.
We're wrapping up our study on Matthew chapter 5, verses 10 through 12, on the blessing attached to the righteous being persecuted. We're talking about a decision about our disposition. And we're going to ask the question today, how do we overcome persecution? Let me share with you several things. First of all, we do not overcome persecution with surprise. It's rather interesting to me. Over in 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 12, we read, "Beloved, do not think it strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened to you." There's a temptation when bad things start to happen. We're doing the right thing and people are upset about, well, this shouldn't be happening. Who said it shouldn't be happening? Of course they shouldn't misbehave, but that's just kind of the nature of things, and we need not be shocked. We do not overcome persecution with resentment. Over in Philippians chapter 1 and verse 12, Paul is under house arrest. He's chained to a Roman soldier 24/7. And I can imagine it's less than the ideal that he might want. But listen to what he says. "I want you to know, brethren, that the things that which have happened to me have actually turned out for the furtherance of the gospel." He didn't resent it. Paul didn't have a martyr complex. Paul says, man, this is a great opportunity. Can you imagine what those Roman soldiers heard as they were chained to Paul? Paul says, I've got a captive audience. I'm going to preach to them. Furthermore, we do not overcome persecution with grumbling. Now, this is really important. Consider Philippians chapter 2 and verse 14. Do all things. Now, circle those two words, all things. That's everything. Do all things without complaining and disputing. Of course, there's times to point out to someone, this is not the best way. I don't think that's scriptural. We need to talk about this. But there's a difference in the person who has the adversarial attitude about everything. And we're going to gripe, and we're going to grumble, and we're going to murmur about everything. And in 1 Corinthians 10, Paul points out that there were people who died. The children of Israel died in the wilderness because they were guilty of grumbling. Also, we do not overcome persecution with discouragement. Over in Hebrews chapter 12, beginning in verse 1, he talks about that great cloud of witnesses. What great cloud of witnesses? He goes back to Hebrews chapter 11. All those great men and women of faith who followed God despite the fact that they had adverse circumstances. You see, we overcome persecution by looking to Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who endured the cross, because of the joy that was set before him, endured the cross. Now you think about that for a minute. He endured that for you and for me because of what it would do for us. What will our tough times and persecution that we may face, what will it do for others? We need to be looking at the end result, and we need to make a decision about our disposition. Join us again for your Daily 180.